Most real estate investors use the words title and deed like they mean the same thing. And honestly, if you mix them up at a dinner party, nobody is likely to call you out. But if you mix them up at a closing table during a wholesale deal, or when you are transferring a property into your LLC, that confusion can cost you real money. So let me break down the exact difference, why it matters for your investing business, and how understanding this one distinction can protect you from some seriously expensive mistakes. Let me start with title because this is the concept that everything else builds on. Title is not a piece of paper. You cannot hold title in your hand. Title is the legal concept of ownership. Think of it like this: when you own a property, you hold a collection of rights associated with that property. In law school, they call this the bundle of sticks. Each stick represents a different right. You have the right to possess the property, the right to lease it out to a tenant, the right to put a mortgage on it, the right to sell it, and the right to develop it within legal limits. When you hold every single one of those rights with nobody else making a claim, you own that property outright, what lawyers call fee simple absolute. That is the strongest form of ownership you can have. So, title is really about who holds these rights and how many of those rights they actually control. Now, here is where the deed comes in. The deed is the physical legal document that transfers title from one party to another. It is the pen on paper instrument that proves ownership changed hands. The person giving up ownership is called the grantor, and the person receiving ownership is the grantee. When you buy a flip, close on a rental property, or acquire a deal through a wholesale assignment, the deed is what gets signed at the closing table and then recorded with your county to make the transfer official and part of the public record. So, to make it super simple, title is the concept, deed is the document. You hold title, you receive a deed. Now, here's where this really starts to matter for investors. Not all deeds offer the same level of protection, and choosing the wrong one can leave you completely exposed. There are three main types you need to know about. First is the quitclaim deed. This one basically says whatever interest I might have in this property, I am handing it over to you. The key word there is might. The person signing a quitclaim deed makes zero guarantees that they actually own anything. They could theoretically sign a quitclaim deed for a property they have absolutely no connection to, and legally it would not mean a thing because they had nothing to transfer. This type of deed is commonly used between family members or when transferring a property into a trust or LLC. But if a seller in a deal wants to give you a quitclaim deed on a purchase, that should raise a massive red flag. Second is the special warranty deed. This one offers more protection. The seller guarantees that during the time they owned the property, no title issues arose. However, they are not making any promises about what happened before they took ownership. So if there was a lien or a dispute from a previous owner, that is your problem now. Third is the general warranty deed. This is the gold standard. The seller guarantees clean ownership, not just during their time holding the property, but going all the way back through the chain of ownership. They are promising to defend you against any claims that come up, no matter when the issue originated. As an investor, this is what you want to push for whenever possible on acquisitions. Now, let me connect another critical piece to this: the title search and title insurance. Before you close on any investment property, an attorney or title company should conduct a thorough title search. This means digging through public records, checking the register of deeds, searching court records, looking for liens, judgments, bankruptcies, and any other claims against the property. The goal is to verify that the seller actually has the legal authority to convey the property to you and that nobody else has a competing claim. But here is the thing: even the most thorough title search cannot guarantee perfection. Records can be incomplete, fraud can happen. A forged deed from decades ago might not show up in a standard search. That is where title insurance comes in. A title insurance company assumes the risk of those hidden defects. If someone shows up later with a legitimate claim against your property, the insurance company either defends you in court or compensates you for your loss. As an investor, skipping title insurance to save a few $100s is one of the most reckless things you can do. One bad deal with a clouded title can wipe out profits from 10 good deals. Here is a real world scenario that shows why this matters. Imagine you find a great off market deal. The seller is motivated and wants to close fast using a quitclaim deed. You skip the title search to keep up the pace. 6 months later, you discover there is an outstanding tax lien on the property from 3 owners ago, and a relative of a previous owner is claiming they never authorized the sale of the property years back. Now you are stuck in a legal battle with no warranty protections from the seller and no title insurance to fall back on. That deal you thought was a steal just became your most expensive lesson. So here is my advice. Always run a title search. Always push for a general warranty deed. Always get title insurance. And understand that title represents your actual ownership rights, while the deed is simply the document that moves those rights from one person to the next. Mastering this distinction puts you ahead of the majority of investors who never take the time to learn it. Now here's the truth. Knowing the difference between title and deed protects you from one mistake. But if you're serious about building a real estate investing business, you need the whole framework, not just one piece of it. I made a complete video that covers the 3 pillars of this business, the 5 engines that actually generate income, and the one core principle that separates profitable investors from broke ones. I also walk through the financing basics, the most common mistakes new investors make, and how to build your own plan step by step. Go watch that video next. I'll link it right here and in the description. That's your real starting point. If this helped you, make sure to subscribe because we break down concepts like this every single week to help you invest smarter and protect your portfolio. And that's the full deal.